welcome back to my channel and happy 2020. Today is the first day of 2020 when I'm filming this, and I just wanted to share some of my resolutions, goals, that kind of deal. I love watching these videos to get ideas for how I want to shape my year. Of course, 1/1/2020 is totally an arbitrary date, and you can accomplish a lot in a year that's not the January through December time period. But it is fun to kind of have a day where a lot of people are kind of thinking this way and setting goals and getting inspiration from others and having kind of that momentum to start your year and decade crazy off right. I set my goals in kind of 4 categories, though you could make these kind of smaller or bigger. And my first category is career. So last year I started a PhD program, and it started in late September, and so September to December was my first quarter. And it was rough. It's hard going back to school after so many years. It's hard taking tests again and getting into that routine, and changing from that workforce mentality to back to school. But I had a really great quarter, a great experience, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of my time doing the PhD, which is 4 to 5 years. So I have plenty of time and plenty of more things to do with that. And so this year, I really want to kind of continue with that momentum of studying hard, getting good grades. I want to continue vlogging my experience. So I have a whole playlist of PhD vlogs if that's something you're interested in. So I want to continue doing that and documenting this and kind of sharing any tips or advice or commiseration with you guys. Now, I definitely, the first quarter was focusing really on my grades and studying, and I feel like this year I want to do more with my research. So I really want to, which I kind of have to, my advisor told me, I want to have a peer-reviewed publication, at least one by the end of this year. My first one should be, we're aiming for summer 2020. So I hope to have another publication in the works, or really close by the end of 2020. So I hope to have at least 2 kind of publications going on. I want to really get some great ideas for my dissertation. Right now I have a pretty good idea of what methods I want to use and what kind of, what methods, what approaches I want to be able to exhibit in my dissertation, but I don't really have my topic yet. So I really want to get that done in 2020. I want to attend and present at a conference. That's kind of my goal every year, is to present at conferences. And I was able to do that last year with my job. So that was great. And I was able to attend another conference in 2019. So 2019 was great for my career, and 2020 is looking even brighter with that. What other things do I have here? I also want to work on multiple projects. So with my research lab, this first quarter I kind of just focused on my independent research, but I would like to kind of get my hands in a few more different projects so that I can get my name on different things and meet more of my colleagues and kind of get more into the circle, and yeah, keep my grades up. I want to have like a good schedule. I think my first quarter I was really just trying to play around and see how, try to keep up, but this quarter I want it to be really smooth sailing. I want to have my study time and my research time very separate and kind of know when I'm doing what, and so that I'm not bouncing around a million different ideas or a million different directions. I want to kind of have that schedule with my job, which is 5 different jobs when you think about it. Along with that, I really want to kind of diversify my experience. I'm really happy with what I did last quarter. I was a grader for a class. I was doing my research project. I was doing my studying and my grades, and I kind of had a little bit of everything my first quarter, and I want to continue with that, where I'm really getting a feel for every aspect of being in academics. But I also want to really deepen and have my subject matter knowledge and be okay, Kim, that's her research topic. She's the expert in this. So yeah, those are kind of my career goals. Hope that wasn't too much of a tangent. A little bit. So let's go to financial goals. I did achieve so many accomplishments in 2019 with my finances. I had a really good savings account that helped me move here and take time off between my full-time job and between starting my PhD. I haven't really felt too much of a crunch dropping my income that much. I also paid off my credit card debt, which maybe I'll do a whole video on how I paid off. How much? At one point it was almost $10,000 in credit card debt. A lot of that just from being a student as an undergrad and a master's and just never being able to catch up on the things that I used a credit card to kind of live and survive and pay for food. But I paid off my credit cards in October 2019. So I want to keep that up, keep my credit clean. I always had a good credit score because I always paid my things on time, but it was a lot of debt. So I want to continue keeping my credit good, still working on my student loans. I can't pay as much as I did when I had a full-time job, or how I imagined if I had a full-time job and no credit card debt, but I still want to keep up that and not just be like, oh, I'm in school, so I shouldn't pay that. I want to save $10,000 by the end of the year, which is kind of hard being in a part-time PhD program. If I was working full-time, that would probably be very doable, but we'll see how that goes. And really, this is kind of every category, but I put it in financial, and it's just fewer, better things. I don't want to spend money on little impulse buys or things that I don't really want, that specific one of it, but it's cheaper and it just doesn't make sense to like buy something cheaper that you don't really want, that you're just going to keep wanting the thing that you do want. And then you just end up with a bunch of junk, and then that goes in the landfill, and it's just bad. So I want to try to be really like focused on my purchases. To help me do this, I keep a wish list on my Google Sheets, and I write the price of things, the URL code, and what I want. And I have like the sum total of all the things that I want in my wish list so that I can give myself a little reality check of, Kim, you can't spend that much on stuff. You can never afford all of this. So what are the one things that you want? Or it also gives like a good list for like my birthday or Christmas so that people can kind of help me with my wish list items. But that way I don't make impulse buys of, oh, I spent 20 here, 50 here, 100 here, when I'm like, wait, I could have afforded something on my wish list that I really wanted. This has also been easier the older I get. I feel like I'm not making as many kind of impulse buys as I used to. Though every once in a while, online shopping, Sephora, probably have a package coming from Sephora too, so I can't speak too quickly, but fewer better things. Definitely something I want to strive for in 2020. Personal goals. So this is a very broad category, but I kind of focused it on more the hobbies that I want to continue and pursue. Starting the PhD program really took a hit on my reading for pleasure. So I definitely didn't read as many books as I set out to at the end of 2018 when I was planning my 2019 goals. I still read a ton, but once I started the PhD program, it was just textbooks and journal articles, and I really just couldn't keep up with the fiction reading. But that's okay. A new chapter in my life, and reading those other like textbooks and journals is also a great way to get reading in, a great way to expand your mind. So I think I'm gonna set my goal for 25 books for like pleasure. So let's hope I can do that. It seems a lot more manageable. What did I read? Read 27, 28 books in 2019. I'll share all of those in a blog post or a video. Though my goal was 40 because the year 2018 I read 38 books. So yeah, definitely took a hit on my reading in 2019, but it's okay. It's a new chapter of life. I also want to keep up with trying different hobbies and developing different things that I like to do in my spare time, and kind of making that free time very meaningful and things that like I want to do, and not just being like, okay, I'm just gonna sit on the couch or watch Netflix. Though of course, some Netflix time is very good for the soul. So I made a whole video about different hobbies that I was doing over the summer, and those are kind of the ones that I want to keep up with in 2020. So calligraphy, I want to continue doing that workbook and practicing calligraphy. Yoga. So I might not, depends on scheduling. I really want to do a yoga teacher training, not really to be a yoga teacher, but to really deepen my own practice and I made a financial goal last year to save up enough for the yoga teacher training. And so I have that saved, and I'm set to have that money saved by June, which is when the yoga teacher training starts. But I don't think my schedule in 2020 is going to let me do the 200-hour intensive training. Unfortunately, I have my big prelim exam for my PhD during that same time. So I might have to wait till 2021 to do that, but I can still keep working on my yoga and my poses and deepening my practice and keep that amount of money for the teacher training set away so that in 2021, hopefully my schedule will align and I'll be able to do that. Another kind of personal goal that also ties in with that fewer, better things mantra is I kind of want to develop like a signature style products, kind of have the things that represent me and the things that I repurchase over and over again, things that make it easy to get ready in the morning. I do love experimenting with makeup and skincare, and I don't want to totally ruin that, but I just have so many products in my cabinets, in my shelves, on my dresser, and having all of that doesn't really make me as happy as having the few things that I really love. I have a cat just rubbing up against me this whole time. And so I really want to kind of develop like what routine do I really like and what represents me. I've also, oh my gosh, she's like smacking herself on me. I don't know if you can see her in this view, but they've been really clingy since we got back from vacation. So anyway, yes, it's developing my signature style. What do I like to wear to class, to work? Like, what are those pieces that I want in my closet, my wardrobe? And not to be so upset if I buy something and experiment and I don't really like it. Like, not to hang on to it forever, just kind of find my own like capsule wardrobe. My final category, and I think is one on a lot of people's lists, is travel. So Preston and I, a few years back, started a kind of like a travel goal of traveling to at least like one different place in the US and one international destination a year. And we started that in 2016. And so in 2016, we went to Taiwan, which was amazing. 2017, we went to South Africa, also amazing. 2018, we didn't end up going anywhere. I had a lot of health things going on in my family, so we weren't able to travel internationally, but I did go to Alaska, which is pretty far. So I had a great time doing that. And then 2019, we didn't end up traveling much internationally or even like taking that big of a trip because of our move. So we drove cross country from New York to Seattle, which is kind of like a whole traveling trip on its own. So I'm not mad at it, not mad that we didn't really get to go to any like crazy destination, but we need to start again in 2020. We're itching to travel somewhere new. We're thinking China, and that should be really fun. And then of course, we're also trying to plan a couple more US trips. We want to visit Preston's brother in Bend, Oregon for like a winter wonderland trip. And then we want to do some spots in Cali, maybe like LA and Joshua Tree, and kind of do that now that we're on the West Coast. So yeah, those are my 2020 goals. When I was writing them down, I'm like, oh, I don't have too many, but I feel like I've talked about them quite a bit. After like kind of talking it out with you guys, I think I'll try to write it down in my, where is it? My notebook, and kind of write a little more set ideas on what these things mean to me and how I want to accomplish them, and maybe make them a little more operational so that I can achieve that goal. But yeah, I'm really excited for 2020. 2019 was a great year. So many things happened, and I'm excited to see what 2020 brings. I'm excited to kind of slow down a little bit and enjoy where I am in life, since so many changes happened in 2019. Let me know down in the comments below what one, or let me know all of them, go for it, one of your resolutions is for 2020. And yeah, or like what travel destination you want to go to in 2020 if traveling is part of your 2020 resolution. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Happy New Year. See, this is what Patches was doing to me the whole time. The whole time filming.